Hello team, welcome back to another Line War cast. This is your map today. This is action from the lower bracket of the T1 2023 tournament that is going on in Line War right now. In blue is Animorph on the southern part of this island, and in red is Tomahawk in the north. So both players are starting on the central location. Tomahawk's going for an airport right away with a refinery. This water territory was one of the territories that Red chose in the picking phase, which makes a lot of sense because Tomahawk doesn't have access to any other gas on this landmass. The closest ones are these three oil wells to the left. It's three factories after the airport, one of which is making tanks for Red. Animorph, on the other hand, going for a town, a dock, two factories, and a barracks. The dock is probably going to be used to get these infantry off this landmass as quick as possible to start capping one of the other islands. And both players at this point know where the other one is. It's so early in the game. Very clearly we're in a north-south situation on this single landmass. Both players digging in. And Tomahawk's going for tanks, the first of which is almost done. Second one is now on the way, and strikers out of the airport. So pretty aggressive build from Red. Animorph's got some economy mixed into this, so 300 capital went towards this town. There's no economic investment quite yet for Red. And a transport boat for Animorph. Also kind of an economic choice so that Blue can start capping other islands. And clearly Animorph's going to go to the top left with the 1st Infantry. It'll be within range of the strikers, so we'll have to see if Tomahawk actually notices that and how quickly they do. And these three factories are all going tanks. So there's a potential that Tomahawk's going to try to build up a number of tanks and then break through this line. Tanks are great at busting through defensive positions as long as there's not too many artillery or opposing tanks or opposing planes. There's no airport yet for Blue. So planes or helicopters, Tomahawk doesn't need to worry about. Unfortunately for Animorph, these artillery pieces that should have been in the defensive line are kind of derping out and have got caught in an awkward position. And there's a chance that Red's going to be able to bust through this on this first attempt. The striker's going to help out a bunch here. And the tank is slowly getting through. And the play for Tomahawk is to move this tank right on by all these units and probably head right towards this gas. This is Tomahawk's view, so these buildings are in view clearly, and the refinery is spotted. And we've seen how a tank can take out refineries pretty quickly. So this is a little bit of a tense moment for Animorph. Luckily they don't have too many energy using units except for that transport boat. But never a comfortable feeling to lose a refinery this early. There's more strikers on the way for Tomahawk, who has one interceptor completed. And another airport for Red. Doubling down on the aggression. Animorph's going for a cruiser. Cruisers are great. They can kind of pull up to this choke and start shelling all these reinforcements for Red. But these two tanks might be able to just go around these artillery pieces. They actually get one. And this is exactly what they're going to do. Animorph continues to make artillery pieces out of these two factories. No switch to SAMs as of yet. And this refinery's in a really precarious position because these strikers could actually target this if Tomahawk decided to. The Red infantry isn't at all getting through this defensive line. This choke, rather. But the tanks have. Another one is already passed. It's quite damaged, but so is the refinery. So Tomahawk is likely going to be able to destroy this. Animorph's landed on the top left at this point, which will be great for the economy over time if they can hold on to against this push. And it's just 5 heavy-hitting production structures for Red at the moment with these tanks, strikers, and interceptors. We're really seeing the effectiveness of tanks here against this artillery and this infantry blob. Or blue, and the strikers are great to complement this. It's very tough because Animorph won't be able to comfortably switch into SAMs all that quickly. Without having a secure gas, it's tough to want to build tanks if you're blue as well, because there's a chance you're going to build a tank and it won't be able to move anyway. So pretty tough position. Animorph's rebuilt a second refinery in the mountains. Tomac does not see it because the concealment bonus that mountains give. But game sense wise, Tomac is assuming that Animorph is going to rebuild a refinery. And now they do spot it. So red is going to work on this town. Will likely get it. There's nothing close to defend for blue. And now that there's 2 tanks on top of this refinery, the cruiser's not going to be able to move. The black plumes of smoke on the transport boat indicating that Animorph is low on energy. And this is just 3 factory tank pressure with 2 airports. And Tomac is going to take this game most likely. 350 income for red and 395 for blue. Which probably has changed, yeah, so 350 income now after losing that town. And this is the power of tanks. I mean, if I had a nickel for every time I've lost to tank rushes or heavy tank pressures on ladder, I mean, you know how it goes. That's a lot of nickels. Animorph hasn't built a barracks on the top left. It's not like it really matters. There's no possible way to stabilize at this point. There's 3 interceptors out. It's now just a switch into straight strikers for red to make sure that they finish off the rest of this blue base. And finally, the 1 refinery for Tomac is... I mean, there's so many gas units out there that Tomac's running low. But it doesn't matter. Tanks and strikers take it. Good game, well played. So this was one of the games from the lower bracket. So the winner here, Tomac, is going to go play the loser of AK and Nickname, which is the upper bracket semi-final, if you want to call that. So winner of AK and Nickname goes on to the grand final. Loser plays Tomac in the lower bracket final, and then the winner of that will go play AK in the grand final. Hopefully that made sense. And you can check out the challenge website. I'll link it in the description if you're interested in following the bracket. By the time this video is released, the tournament's over, so you'll be able to see the results. So you don't want to spoil it for yourself, then don't go there. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you have a wonderful night, day, evening, whatever it is for you. Next video, aka Nickname, gonna be a banger. We'll see you there. We'll see you around. Peace.